Erica.
And I'm Sean.
And we are the Blanchards. This podcast is created to be a safe place where we discuss topics regarding faith, love, family, marriage,
and everything in between through the perspective of an interracial blended couple focused on ministry
and mental health. No topic is off limits. We're about to have adult conversation through the eyes of a Latina scholar, life coach, mother, and wife.
Along with the perspective of a Black king, engineer, entrepreneur, father, and husband. We're about to take brown and Black excellence to a whole new level.
Family Unlocked starts now. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Family Unlock.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
This is Erica.
This is Sean.
What is more important, date night or family time?
Now you have, for the audience, you gotta define it. What is family time to you?
Spending time with family.
I mean, but that could be anything. I guess is a vacation? Is it just
all of the
hanging
above?
Out? All that.
That's a good question actually, because if you think about date night and family time, a person would say, a woman, I feel like, especially Christian women, I feel like they're like, date night because you're supposed to love your man before anybody else and before your children. We are their ribs. That's what I really think.
Mm-hmm.
But is there follow through? Probably not. I feel like since I would have to take a poll. Did you know that we can make a poll?
I think so.
And we can ask, I would like to know the truth. Like,
okay.
Do you really take time for date night? Right? Like, it sounds in theory, it sounds good. Like you're supposed to say date night is more important, but is it really happening?
That's true. That's a good question. I know what my answer would be.
And then, when you think about when there is time, you fill it with family time.
Yeah.
Like, let's go to Great America and look at the lights. Let's go to Christmas in the Park and look at the lights. Let's put up the lights. Let's get this. Let's go do that. Because, sometimes it's just easier.
Yeah. I think family events can be easier. But
And I feel like I know what you're about to say.
Yeah.
That you would say date night was more important. But let me just give you guys some context here.
Actually, I wasn't going to say date night. Yeah.
Sleep? You're going to say sleep is better than all of it.
Ha, ha, ha. No, I wasn't going to say date night. I was actually going to say family time. And it could be because of, she's like, oh, there you go. Of course.
No, that's, I'm glad that you actually admitted it.
Yeah.
Because I can share this, that about 2 hours ago, I was done with my homework. I had to write a 7 to 10 page paper and I knocked it out in about 4 or 5 hours. And I bet you I aced it because it was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And so I told Sean, babe, because we take turns. Saturday is my day to do homework. Sunday is his day to do homework. And so we take turns. And I had said, babe, I'm done with my homework. Come in the room. Let's watch a movie or something. And he was like, no. And I go, but babe, I'm free. And he was like, I'm all right. And he was in the kids' room. He was with Neo and Geo. Eric and Jesse left with their girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Another podcast conversation. No, just kidding. Their girlfriends are actually really good. Really cool.
Yeah.
I meant they're really cool. Anyway, so he was in the room with them because, he tries to handle my grandma and the kids while I'm doing homework. And he was laying on the floor. They made like some floor fort and they were watching WWE. And then I said, babe, I'm done. Come in. And mind you, he spent the entire day with them because I had to write my paper. And he comes home and they're hanging out. And I said, babe, I'm done. And he was like, I don't care, woman. If you're done, leave me alone.
Let me be.
And I was like, ill.
Yeah.
Hey.
No.
I mean,
yeah. But that's not entirely true. They had asked me, they were like, oh, Dad, come and hang out with us. And they were watching this WWE event. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be present and do that. Now, to be fair, I did fall asleep a couple of times and they did wake me up. They kept saying, Dad, stop snoring. But when I was up and I was watching it. And I wanted to do that because a lot of times I get caught up doing everything else, right? And it could just be, especially when it comes to school. School is extremely taxing, but schoolwork or, doing something else, and especially during the week. And so I don't have that much time to dedicate towards them. And so because I knew that you had to do your homework and I wanted to spend this time with them and I wanted to kind of reconnect with them and do this. And that's why I said, okay, well, let me finish this out. I wanted to finish it, And so once the event went off, they're like, okay, I'm free. I can go back and spend time and hang out with my wife. But that's the reason why I was like, no, let me finish doing what I'm doing,
That's your truth.
It is the truth.
Now we'll tell the real truth. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So with that said, what do you think is more important? Family time or date night?
I was going to say that I think family time is more important. And the reason why, and it's really, to be honest with you, is something that you told me before, kind of the reason why we go on vacations and we do things like that, because it gives us the ability to reconnect. And you and I are so busy. We're so busy during the week just doing, a bunch of stuff, whether it's work, whether it's, adulting, just in general, that sometimes we don't get the opportunity to reconnect, right, with our family. And so I think having the ability to, reconnect with the kids, because the kids are busy, they have their own activities as well, but having the ability to reconnect with them, I think is important. Now, it is important, don't get me wrong, it is important to have date night. It is important for us as husband and wife to reconnect, and we do that. But I realized because we are so goal oriented and driven and focused that we have to take the time to reconnect with the family. So I would say family time is more important.
Oh, every girl wants to hear that.
What about you? What do you think? What's more important?
I think I would say date night because I have a lot more patience for the kids when they need something from me or they need time. But I'm really good at, I still do date night with Eric, date night with Jesse, date night with Neo, date night with Gio. And I take them, even if it's just a trip to Target because they always get whatever they want or I have to go grocery shopping. Something, I take one and I usually take them out to eat and we talk about life and stuff. I'm still pretty good at doing that. But I feel like I don't have as much patience as, I even take my grandma out, to get her toes done and stuff. I haven't done it recently because
life, adulting.
Yeah, adulting. And we even, I take my mom and, we make sure that happens. But what I'm saying is, I feel like I don't have the patience for you sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
Ask him who buys him his shoes, his shirts, pants. If it wasn't for me, this man would be wearing the same Nesby shirt that he wore the day.
Yes, 100%. I am a creature of habit, and it is.
No,
it is.
That's not creature of habit.
Listen. I am a creature of habit, and my wife is the reason that I have any type of fashion style. Because I would be like, "Oh yeah, those are good. Just buy me sweats." I am a sweat wearing cat. I love my sweats, but you're 100% right. I definitely go with things that are comfortable. But yes, I probably would still be wearing the Nesby outfit or what was that one sweater that I had that you absolutely
still have it? What do you mean? Don't act like you don't wear it.
No. There was one that I had.
Oh my God, I hated it. I told him one day
I got rid of it finally, but
that I was gonna throw it away, and he's like, "You will not throw away my clothes. You definitely will not touch stuff in my closet."
Yeah,
watch me.
So he's gonna be messing.
I take that as a challenge. Challenge accepted, sir. So I would say a date night because I think it rekindles the relationship and you can just kind of put your guards down. But, but to be fair, that's why we make sure that we meet up in Pasadena when I go so I have to go to school every semester. I don't know if I mentioned this in another podcast, but I have to go to my school in Pasadena every semester because we start this introduction and workshops and it's a certain amount of hours face to face. So I'm there for about 10 days. Which at times can be torture because I just miss my family. I get homesick quite easily. So I'll be there and we make sure that we make it some kind of family trip or a date trip. There's a plan to have Eric and Jesse fly out to meet with me there during the middle of the week and they just hang out with me and then they go to Beverly Hills and whatever and downtown LA and they kind of hang out just to kind of give me a sense of a normalcy. And then Sean will always come down to either drop me off or pick me up or both. Or I'll have the last one, 3 of my close friends came with me and we we intentionally were there together. They prayed for me. They refueled me and made sure that I was okay. And then they left. And then Sean came at the end of the week.
Mm.
And so we're very intentional when we do certain things like that. But I think like making sure that we have date night during, every other month or every other week. It's not scheduled. It's not something that we do intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
But, just a disclaimer, when we do go places together, we have like the best time. Like we have so much fun. The last time we went on a date night, we went to, and mind you, like we get tired. We get tired. So I think we start like at 5.
Mm-hmm.
And we just did like, we jumped to different restaurants at Santana Row and Valley Fair. And we tried like a specialty, right? A special cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would go to a different one and just try different, and because we're foodies and we just had a blast. And then we ended up at this little restaurant that turned into like a lounge, and they had played like great 90s and 2000s R&B, and we were just having fun. And then we went home, and it was so cool. It just, because I felt like you and I didn't really get to date, because when we first started dating or courting,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have money.
Yeah.
So we didn't go anywhere. And then we got married, and then boom, we had twins. So now that the twins are older, they're almost 10,
Mm-hmm.
we can now, leave them with Eric and Jesse, and we can.
Yeah. And try to make time for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that's the big deal. We, as parents, like I said, we're on the go all the time. So when we do get those moments to breathe, it's nice to kind of reconnect and see where you're at and see, where I'm at, and kind of see where we're at together. I think those things are important. And we do have fun, we kind of can unwind a little bit. And then when we come back, usually everybody sleeps. So so that's good. So we can still, enjoy it. But I can definitely see the importance of a date night, and you need it. You do need it, as many, I know there's many parents that are listening to this right now. You need to reconnect. You need to be able to understand where each other is at. Just communicate. It's like, hey, I'm just checking in. How was your week? Or how have you been? Or where are you at right now? Like, what is it that you want to do? And or how's school going? Or how's work? Or where are you at, like mentally, emotionally? What are you like? What are some of your fears? Like, what are things that are like keeping you up at night? These are important things. Yes, you're having fun, but sometimes it's the conversations that I enjoy more, because I feel like I can reconnect with you on, an emotional level. Right. I can really understand where you're coming from, right, and what you're feeling. And at least for me, I hope that it allows you to feel a sense of relief, right? Like, oh, okay, my friend is here. We don't have no kid hanging off of us, or nobody wanting nothing from us, that we can just genuinely connect with each other.
You know what's funny? When we first started going on date nights, I had to remind Sean to like slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that we would do, like when we would go on vacation or we would go out to eat with the kids, they would eat so fast,
Mm-hmm.
and they would leave me.
Yeah,
like there was a time
she's a slow eater.
I wasn't a slow eater. I was feeding the kids, and one of my older children, it never fails, he starts eating off my plate. So I would just let him eat, right? Let them eat. And whenever it was done, I would start eating. And so Sean used to be the type that there was one time we went to Disneyland, and we were in the restaurant, and Sean left with the kids. He was like, all right, we'll wait for you in the car. And I sat at the table by myself eating.
Yeah, I remember that.
And at first I was like, okay, I'll just meet you there. I'll hurry up and eat the food, and you can just go. I'll be right there. And he was like, okay, cool. And he goes, and I just sat there, and I remember feeling so lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was so sad, but I was like, well, it is what it is, whatever, right? We took off, and I think it came up during an intense fellowship one time. I think I was like, you guys don't even eat with me, like, and it was true. Like it never failed.
Yeah.
Even at home, I would feed all the kids, and moms tend to eat last,
Mm-hmm.
and I ate last, and and they left me at the table, and I was like, yo, you guys can't even like wait till I finish eating. And Sean was like, well, then eat faster.
Like, stop taking so slow bites. You just eat. Don't think, just eat.
And now, like when we serve, like I serve everybody, Sean will intentionally wait for me to come and sit down with my plate because I'll serve him, then I serve the kids, and then I serve my grandma. Or I typically serve my grandma first because she's a handful.
Yeah.
So she'll be like, where's my plate? But I typically serve Sean first and then my grandma and the kids, or they all get, or those three will get served at the same time. So I'll make my plate and then I come to the table and Sean will have the kids wait until I come and sit at the table now. But I mean, the kids are 10. So
Yeah.
it took a while.
I actually think that sometimes they'll eat before, and I think it is a challenge for them to see if they can eat their food fast enough that by the time
Sean eats. I mean, Neo, he eats so slow. He's his mom. Like
Okay.
he is the epitome of his
then
mom.
maybe it's Gianni. Because
Gianni eats mad fast.
and
Like,
then
he's
he'll go through that process and he'll like eat real quick. And right when you're about to sit down after you made everybody's food, and you're like, okay, I'm about to sit
I
down.
need another plate.
Yeah, can I get some more of this? And I'm looking at him like, no, you will wait. Let's sit here and enjoy this meal. And you're just gonna wait because I'm not gonna get up and do that. But no, yes, 100%. We used to eat quickly. And then Erica would eat. And I'm like, well, he eats slow. But it's not that she eats slow. She's like, especially when we're at home, she's serving everybody. She's being she's making sure that everybody has their stuff. And so that kind of was an eye opener. And I say, even though sometimes when we have these intense fellowships, sometimes, I do listen. I do pay attention. And I have to reflect on it and realize, like, yeah, man, like you can't wait to eat. Just wait for your wife to sit down before you partake in the food. It's gonna be okay. But we did used to do that. Yeah. Sorry about that. Apologize.
That's all right. Like, I mean, it hurt my feelings back then. I was just like, damn, man. Like, I can't win.
We all just got up. We were like, all right.
And it was a lot of things. It wasn't just that. Like, there was times
we did it at Magic Mountain. Remember the time we were at a restaurant, and I remember that. We were at a restaurant.
Another time, yeah.
We just all the
like everybody just got up and left, and I was like,
we'll be in the car. She was like, what? Like, let's start eating. We were like, oh man, well, sorry. We'll see you outside.
But it was like a lot of things. Like, or I would go to the bathroom, I'd come back, they were gone.
Yeah.
I was like at theme parks. Like it was never, even like at the hotel, because you get everybody ready and then you start getting ready. So I had to learn to get ready first, like take a shower, do my makeup, and then I would get everybody ready. And then I would do my hair or something because they would leave me or they would be downstairs waiting for me. And you're trying to rush to hurry up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, trying to hurry up. And then I'd get down and Sean would be like annoyed, like, are you ready now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, sorry, and I think that's toward the end we started to get into like arguments because I was like, dude, can you like just let me be? Like, let me get ready. And I don't blame him because now like we're always late to church and stuff but he's, can't help it.
Yeah.
Right.
You try your best. It is what it is.
So back to the question. Why don't you just put my business out there?
You put it out there. I just followed it up.
You put it out there. Mm.
So yes, date night or family time?
I would say date night because again, like I'm more impatient with you than I am with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there's tools and techniques that we need to learn.
Yeah.
Like for example, we schedule it. We schedule our time together now.
I know it doesn't.
Because that helps Sean.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like, and I'll admit, like I can admit this right now. I am not nearly as romantic as I thought I was. I thought I was a romantic cat. I was like, oh yeah, I'm wine and dine you and do all that. Not at all. Not at all. My wife schedules all these date nights and all that stuff. And I know it is sometimes it is overwhelming and it is frustrating. But let me just So we would have these date nights and I would still feel like I wanted more or something was still like, I still needed something. And I would tell Sean like, I don't know. I just feel like we're still not like, I still don't feel like I don't know how to explain it. Like noticed. Right. And Sean would be like, well, didn't I just take you out to dinner? And I'm like, cause I scheduled it, and he would boast in these, romantic dinners and stuff that I set up. Yeah.
And so I started to get mad, like, you're not like planning them.
Yeah.
I am. And now you're going to take credit for it?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, what do you want from me? You're the one that does. He would say, you're better at it than I am. And I'm like, oh,
Which is true.
it's true, but
It's not
don't
right.
boast in it because
Yeah.
don't take credit when you're not doing it. But anyway, so now I can say that he's very romantic. He's very thoughtful. I used to work at this job at the county that was really toxic. It was a very toxic environment. And to the point where before I left that place, I would get into pickles with my
Pickles.
with my coworkers. I used to get into these intense debates to the point where I was like, I think I'm gonna fight this chick.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're gonna get into it. And this chick didn't want it. You know, she didn't want it. I don't blame her. But she would make comments and do stuff. And I was like, so anyway, Sean started sending me flowers almost every day. And then, which was making them even more mad.
Yeah.
He wasn't just sending like these little, a couple bouquets. He was sending like 3 dozen long stem roses. Like, I mean, I was kind of like, damn, I could have gone shopping with this, you know, but he was doing things to, and they would have notes where it said, God's got you. Don't trip. I love you. Your family loves you. Don't let these chicks get you like this. And it wasn't like I was keeping my cool, but it had gotten pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
And by the grace of God, I actually got a promotion and I got to get out of that clinic. And when I gave my 2-week notice, every day till my 2-week notice, Sean was sending me flowers, edible arrangements. He was like, I'm going to make sure that you leave a stamp of this clinic.
Oh, yeah. Well, because my mindset was you were dealing with a lot of stuff from that situation, and then that was actually it was following you home. You know, you were so drained and so burnt out from work that when you came home, you didn't have no patience for anybody in the house, right? And a lot of it was because of that environment, and it's just the type of work that you do in general really involves a lot of emotional support, and you kind of like your energy is being siphoned from you. So when you add that to being in a toxic environment with toxic people who are all trying to take from you or hate on you, which to me, you know, y'all are supposed to be grown women. You know what I mean? Like there's doing all that stuff. So to me, that didn't make sense. But after a while, I wanted you to know that you are loved and you're appreciated. And if you ain't getting it from the work, then you're going to get it from home. And at some point, it was more of, oh, if they're going to hate, I'll give them a reason to hate. They can hate. They can hate for the fact that, oh, you know, you got this man who loves you. Absolutely. She got a support system. So, you know, I have no problem with doing that and showing that affection. If anything, just to be like, yeah, you guys are not going to run over her. That's not what's going to happen. You're not going to do this to my wife and then send her back home stressed out and be like, man, why am I doing this? No, not on my watch. So yeah, I had no problem with doing that.
Yeah, it was just petty. It was nonsense. It was ridiculous. Everybody was miserable there. Everybody was tired of the work, the environment.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what happens next is people start turning on each other. And I was just like, and I'm not about that. So I was just like, what is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
And so the best thing was to leave. But thankfully, like, I got another job. But so for that, like, you know, you are romantic in that.
I have my moments, yeah.
What you haven't done, though, is buy me flowers for my new job.
I haven't. But that's because you're happy. So.
But the last date night we had was last month. And we did schedule that. And we took the kids because we go to a gym and they have like parents' night out.
Oh, yeah.
And so we paid for the kids to be there. And they were there for about, what, like 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah.
And they love it there because they do these like
activities and
these workouts. And Neil, you know, he thinks he's a football player. So he loves it.
He is a football player.
He is a football player. So we went next door and they had darts and John had forgotten that I was a bartender for so many years. And he was like, you sure you can play these games? And I was like, so boom, I was just da, da, da. And he was like, what the heck?
Yeah, she was killing him.
I was like a swindler.
Yeah.
Pretend they don't know how to shark.
But I caught on.
And he tried.
I eventually caught on. But no, like that was fun. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like we just kind of hung out and we was right next to the kids, so we didn't really have to go far. But, you know, we got a chance to interact. We had some good food. We got a chance to converse with each other, you know, and catch up a little bit. And that's kind of what we were saying like the importance of it. So I like to kind of circle back to what we were talking about, date night versus, family time. Yes, they're both important, and in some case they may be as equally important, but I think it is important to reconnect with your significant other and take that time for each other and just connect and love on each other and, just really reconnect in an emotional way. Like, okay, I want to know how you're doing. I want to know how you're feeling. And conversations are so important. And then, if you think about family time is just as important as well. Reconnecting with the entire family, especially if you guys are constantly on the go. I know so many families that their kids are in flag football and, they work full time or they commute and whatnot. So by the time, you get home to actually relax, it's like 10 o'clock. By that time, it's time to go to sleep. Like, sometimes you look at your wife like, I'll see you in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, and you got to make those choices. Like, I'm, this is grown folk talk. So, there's been many a times that we've been like, hey, sleep or this. And I be looking at, I'm like, that pillow look mighty nice right now. I'll choose sleep. I'll get you later on this week. Like, it's you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you just, you're exhausted, you're tired. So I think
we even had to schedule that.
Yeah.
So then I decided.
Yeah. At some point,
intimacy.
Yeah. It's just that intimacy. So, and it's not like, I get it. The reason why it's important to schedule it at times is because you're so busy. And so like, there's times that I've had to be like, okay, I got to help the kids, from 5 to this, it's family time, put the kids to sleep by 8:30. Okay. I got to hang out with the wife till at least 10:30. Or 11 before she
I gotta hang out with the wife.
Yeah, I mean that's what your mind thinks, and then you're like, okay, and then after
okay,
this.
but sometimes I'm just like, go do your homework.
Yeah,
I don't need anything. But what I was saying was, we scheduled intimacy.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna do it Sunday and Wednesday. Sunday, so you could start your week off strong, and then Wednesday, because you middle of the week, let's end it with a bang.
Yeah. But these
and
other
then if
days,
anything happens in between, which typically does, but if it does happen, I used to be like, dude, you got it on a Saturday too. And she's like, you know what? Feeling pretty good.
It's a good week. It's been a good week.
But, at least we had those days, because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, at least this, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, we look forward to it, and you have to pray over it, and you have to like, okay, let me take a shower, let me smell good. And then you get your, you have to hype yourself up.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. This. You don't even know what's about to happen.
Yeah, I want to crack it.
But you do. And then another technique we've learned to do that we're going to implement, not just the utilizing the club, is, sometimes we'll just go to Costco together and we'll make it a day night. Like we'll sneak to Applebee's or something and just hang out, and thankfully we have older boys that will watch the kids. And then we have cameras everywhere so we can see everything that's happening.
Exactly.
But, when they're little, it's really hard. And when you don't have somebody to watch them, it's difficult to do that. But that's why, making sure that you schedule it at least once a month, right? Whatever works for you. Because we also don't want to make it a chore, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're not intentional. You're not paying attention. You're not wanting to be there because you're just, okay, let me check this off, which was Sean's thing too.
Yeah. It's almost a task to do. So, this is one thing that.
And that's true, right? Because the date, the romantic part of becoming intimate, being intimate with your partner, that part becomes a task for the man when we're asking for some kind of emotional connection.
Yeah.
And then the actual physical intimacy becomes a task for us, because we're like, okay, let me just get this over with, because God knows what will happen, because the rumor is if a guy doesn't get it, then they're going to go somewhere else to get it. And then you feel obligated to do it because you don't want him to go anywhere else. And that's not necessarily true, because usually your husband's very understanding, and they understand when you're in the mood and when you're not.
Yeah.
And most of the time, sometimes they're not even in the mood because they're tired too. Right. So anyway, we that helped. And it kind of became fun, right? I would tell Sean, like, it's Sunday. And he would be like, it's Wednesday. And I'd be like, oh, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
And, we made a joke of it. We had fun with it. I think another important thing that we are starting to implement is we would find like these gift cards at Costco that is like for $69.99, you get $100 at Bill's Cafe. Like he loves Bill's, right?
Mhm.
It's like a breakfast spot. He loves that place. So I got some of those. And we want to do like other restaurants, like nighttime restaurants. So we got the gift cards for that. And that forces you. Sometimes you have to be forced to take
go do it,
initiative,
yeah.
right? To take time. And let's try this spot. And we used to like what was it called? Pizza something.
It wasn't California Pizza Kitchen?
Yeah, that one. We got the, we're going to get gift cards for that place. And so it makes sure that you utilize that and you take time for that and you walk around the mall and you sightsee. We don't necessarily have to shop. We love to shop, but we don't necessarily have to do that. So just walking around is fun. Seeing houses. We like to go to open houses. So the other day I was able to sneak in behind the gates and we, you just look at houses and we say, one day we're going to have this house or look at this house. This is how I want my kitchen. This is how, and that's another date night opportunity.
Yeah. Manifesting that dream.
Amen. And what was another one that we did? Oh, pedicures.
Yeah. We used to get massages.
Oh, massages. We
Which
haven't
was
done
really
that in a
good.
minute.
Yeah, we haven't done
But
that.
that's only because it's tricky and then people are sick. This is a sick time. And
It was definitely worth it because, it's nice to be relaxed and, just to do all that stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of creative things that you can do that doesn't necessarily involve money or anything like that. But you just got to find the time to be able to do it. And you have to make time. You have to schedule it.
But we had to look forward. I mean, you can make time. Again, it's going to be a task, but look forward to it. Like our next date night is going to the gun range. Like we love stuff like that. Like people wouldn't think like we love jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and boxing.
Yeah.
Like I love hitting and fighting and I'm really good at it. So
He's like, I'm really good at it. Like,
I love like that. I'm a boy mom. Contact sports. It's really fun for me.
Yeah.
The gun range we love. ATVing.
Yeah.
We love.
We went snowmobiling. That was fun.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Like we love doing things like that, which I think keeps you engaged too, because it's boy things, it's not always. But then I also take them to go for massages and, we get our toes done and we, do things like that too, which is fun. And I've learned to love being around him and enjoy opportunity to hang out together.
Yeah.
That was.
Well, I mean, what's interesting about that is that there's times that, and I know this about myself, and so I apologize ahead of time. I can be very stubborn when it comes to certain things, and like change it can always be difficult. But I had to realize that a lot of things that my wife is asking me to do, like she would like, okay, let's do this, or I bought this for you, use cologne, or I do this and that. And I'm more like, oh, okay. But she's doing it because, she wants me to be the best version of myself. She wants me to go out and it looks nice. You want your dude to look nice. You don't want him to be scruffy and stuff. Like, cut your hair.
You know
cut your
what's
beard,
funny? It's because Sean is very like, we're taught what glitter isn't always gold, or what glitters isn't always gold.
Yeah.
But Sean loves the glitter. He don't care. He loves Erica with her hair done and makeup and nails and like that's why I have no problem getting my nails and toes done, because Sean doesn't ask for a lot. He's pretty easy. He's not a high maintenance dude, but he loves my nails and my toes done. And there's no problem keeping that up, But I tell him like, well, you don't think I want something cute to look at too? Like,
you love me regardless.
So I had to remind him, like I would buy him, oh my God, so many like beard solutions and do this to your beard and do this with this and do that. And he would be like, no. He'd be like, okay. And it would be in his closet.
Yeah.
And now like he uses it, but it's not just for me. He walks out here sometimes feeling himself. And sometimes I'd be like, hey, where you going? He loves that too. Cause I'd be like, who you trying to impress? Oh, hell no. Who's this hoe at your work? I'm gonna go ahead and, whatever.
Yeah. She's called payroll and the job.
She's 16. She's in reception.
No, not at all.
I mean, some of these chicks are fly. They don't have to be 20. They can be 60 and they look 30.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, but that's the thing that's important is that's something that I had to realize as well with the relationship is, like you said, you want somebody who looks good too. I am like, it's true. It is absolutely true. Like, Sean, I like it when you shave. I like it when you smell good.
I like it when you shower.
Please use deodorant. Today. Maybe right now. It's getting kind of bad.
No,
You know?
it's never like that. That's funny.
Yeah,
though.
and then we'll be in the
Good
bed. She'd be
timing,
like, "Not gonna even clean yourself, huh? Been a long day, huh? Just gonna sit there,
He's not telling the truth.
hope
No.
nobody smells it." You know, but no, I mean, it's just like, you know, things like that. So it's a lot of it is getting.
Just because he's never like smelled bad ever. Like
I've smelled bad. It's times that oh damn, dude, I can smell myself. Let me go take a shower. It's kind of ripe.
well,
It's killing me.
I've never had to tell him that. So.
Oh, thank you, baby. I appreciate it.
Stop it! You're
I-
making people think that I'm lying.
I appreciate that. You're so
Anyway,
sweet.
who cares? Anyway,
But yeah, it's just one of those things. So to go back to it, yes, I think when we were talking about date night. I think date nights are important. I think the intention is important. I think looking forward to it is important, and changing your mindset. Like, it doesn't always have to be like, oh, okay, this is a chore or this is another thing to do. You should want to be able to spend that time, and you should prioritize it. Make it an important thing when everything else is. You prioritize everything else, whether it's you're doing something at work you have to do, or you're doing, another activity. But when it comes to reconnecting with your family and whatnot, that can be secondary. And that's something that I'm trying to incorporate for me, is prioritizing that time. Like today, when we hung out with the kids, I was prioritizing that time. Now I got schoolwork to do. It's due tomorrow. But I was prioritizing that time because they need that. My family needs it. My wife needs it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, school is school, but my family is going to be here and they need that attention. And I have to give that to them. And I want to, not just have to, I want to give it to them. So I have to like rethink how I approach stuff, because I'm so driven and I'm so like focused on certain stuff that you can neglect those areas. And I don't want to neglect that anymore. I don't want to do that. And I want to be able to appreciate this. Life is so, so short and it goes by so quickly. And my barometer is my kids. And, I look at them, I'm like, dude, I was just carrying you around like yesterday. You know what I mean? And now they're, they got braces and they got little mustaches and stuff like that. And they get tall and got big old feet like the daddy.
They smell
like little boys.
in case they hear this podcast.
Yeah.
But they smell like boys, and I remember when they smelled like baby shampoo and baby lotion.
And now it's just things are different. So I'm trying to learn how to live in the moment. Yes, it's okay to think forward thinking and see where you want to go, but it's that living in the moment, it's spending that time. Erica has done such a great job of telling me, like, I need you to be in the moment. This is the reason why I invest so much in us going on vacations and doing that, is because we need to reconnect. We need to have these memories. Mm-hmm. We need to be able to rethink. Like, we went snowmobiling like last year or last December? I can remember. And we were in Tahoe and we had so much fun. And the older boys, they had a blast. And they remember that is something that will be with them. Like
we are very lucky that the older boys still want to hang out with us.
Want to hang out. Well, of course. Of course. You know why.
And even when we talk about our family trips now, their girlfriends want to go. Like, they're like, oh, we'll go. And we're like, oh, that's a part of our sons now. We're like, okay, well, we're not used to having more kids with us, but the more the merrier.
Yeah.
We love it. We love everyone with us. And I think that's sometimes Sean would have to tell me, can you stop inviting people?
Yes.
Because I'd invite all our friends and, whatever, to trips and enjoy each other and make memories. And because you never know, things change in a second. And so we enjoy ourselves and we enjoy our children, and we're very blessed. We've continued to travel and we look forward to more. So then the question was, what was more important, the family time or date night? I would say they're just equally as important.
Yeah.
I don't think either one should feel like an obligation. I think date night is good for reconnecting and family time is good for reconnecting too. That doesn't feel like a task, an obligation, the responsibility of taking care of your kids and your partner, but making it a time to intentionally reconnect. At least try to do it once a month. There's ways to do that. You can do it inside the house, but Sean and I always...
We gotta get out.
Yeah, right. We always
get away from these monsters.
Encourage to get out of the house, because that's where the responsibility is, right?
Yeah.
There was even a time that we had to rent a hotel room and we just sat there and
Yeah.
watched TV.
And
Oh,
that's
I
it. I mean, of course, we grown. We get a grown stuff.
But I mean that you didn't have to be pulled on.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, we would come in the room and we would lock the door because Eric and Jesse would be with the kids. But then I was like, oh, I have to do laundry. I have to do this. I have to do that. I'm here. Let me just knock it out. So you weren't having that time.
And you wasn't present because you're too busy focused on everything else that you need to do.
Mm-hmm. And you feel like it's wasted time.
Yes. And that's the thing, is that your mind will tell you that it is wasted time, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think we did it. You did it, babe.
well, thank you.
Wonderful.
It was a great conversation.
And then hopefully the next podcast we can talk about how we can do that. Like, I can share so many tips on how to travel budget friendly.
Yeah.
Because we travel with at least 6 people in our family.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we take my mom and my grandma, right?
Yeah.
And that will be up to 8. And then now we're going to be 8 to 10 if we have their girlfriends come with us. So how to do it budget friendly, but have it a good time.
Yeah.
Right.
Still have a good time.
All right. Well, thank you so much, babe, for sharing your insight. You're so intelligent.
I am.
You beautiful black
you.
king.
I am. I'm all of that.
All of it.
And a bag of chips.
Yeah, you are.
Frito
The best
Lays.
chips.
I don't know if it's
Expensive
Frito Lays.
chips. Organic.
Organic. Jesus Christ. Okay. But thank you. Thank you
All right,
guys, for listening. We appreciate you. Please remember, we're on all the social medias, IG, Facebook, TikTok. Drop us a line. If you guys have questions that you would like to be answered on the podcast, please feel free to post them on those social media sites. We thank you. We love you. And let's do this again. All right.
Take care.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Peace.